All right, everyone, we do be back with more Please Be Happy. In the last one, we talked with Silver. We went to the garden with Aspen, and it was super cool and super cute and all that stuff. And in this one, we're doing stuff. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen in this one. Again, I'm assuming that this week's probably going to end with like the play, or it's going to happen in the next chapter at some point. I don't really super know. But yeah, with all that being said, let's just go ahead and get on into it. At breakfast the next morning, I'm still thinking about Silver and her story, and about how much has it in common with mine. I only half listen as Juliet and Aspen talk about a book they've both been reading. Instead, it's nice to just watch them enjoy being around each other. It's so easy to miss that when you're not looking for it. Of course, you can still miss out on other things. It takes me a moment to realize that Aspen is trying to get my attention.
Miho! Miho!
Shaking my head, I bring my attention back.
Up to Miho! Anyone home?
There is now. Just stepped out for a minute, you know.
Believe me, I know. I was just asking if something had happened to your bead. It looks brighter again.
Oh my gosh, it does. It is shining a bit more.
It does?
Oh man, that'd be embarrassing if Aspen noticed a change before I did. I tug my necklace away from me so I can see it. Sure enough, the glow is stronger than before. Still not as strong as Silver's, though.
I swear it wasn't like
What does that
when I
mean?
was asleep.
Because to me, in my brain, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like the connection she's having is making her bead shine brighter, but then Silver's is shining the brightest, so it's like, why would it be doing that? Also, why it's not tracking my mouth like at all. That's fine. I mean, okay, there we go. So it's like, why would Silver's be shining the brightest if that's how it works? So it's clearly not that. Is it like her power is somehow getting stronger? But what would that be like? How would getting stronger for Miho's even work? Would it erase people's memories faster, which is just not what she wants at all? I don't know. Not sure. That's concerning.
Maybe it changed overnight. Like your body, perhaps it needs time to process. Actually, I believe I learned something useful in that regard. I was able to get in touch with one of the curators from the exhibition you saw at Topapa.
I love Papa.
I mentioned the painting of a Gumio and asked if he knew anything about them, and he told me a very interesting myth. It says that not only is a Gumio's bead the source of her magic, but it also requires more magic to sustain itself.
Huh? Are we like sucking in magic from elsewhere or something? What does that mean?
Most people take their magic from the underworld source, but for those who don't come from the underworld, such as Miho,
It has to come from somewhere else.
right?
Is she like sucking magic out of Aspen and Juliet somehow? Is that what this is? Or and now she's like sucking out of Silver or something? I don't. Weird. We're all quiet for because like all that makes me think is like because like we got closer to Silver last night, so that's why it's shining more. But then it still goes back to like why would Silver's be going? So like who would Silver be like close to like be getting magic from essentially? So I'm like I don't know if this theory really works super well, but we'll figure it out. We're all quiet for a moment as we all come to what I'm sure is the same conclusion.
The memories.
What? Oh, so like the reason they all forget. Wait. That's so weird. Hang on. The memories that people have of Miho are what fuels her magic and keeps her around? Or is it the memories that the people have now? Because it's shining brighter now, which I'm assuming is like it's getting stronger. So is it the fact that people actually have memories of her that's making it stronger? Question mark?
Yes, I believe so. Every time someone forgets about you, I believe your bead retains that memory as a sort of power. There was a second part to the myth as well. Once it's accumulated enough, the Gumio can take that magic and make it her own, becoming something even more than a Gumio.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Becoming more than a Gubiho. What?
Something more? In what way?
Thanks, Aspen.
A Chunho.
Both of them look at me.
Pardon?
Chenho. I know the word, but not how I know it, as if Juliet's explanation unlocked a forgotten memory of my own.
That's what I'd be. If I swallowed the bean when it was ready. Tunnel. A sky fox.
What? Is this like a Super Saiyan kind of moment where it's like the bead gets enough power, we absorb it, and then like... But, all I'm thinking is like, would that then give us like the power to like control like the memory power if we had become something more? I feel like so much is being thrown at us right now. Like this game's been so light on like the lore parts, but now like it's just, this is like, oh my gosh, so many things are like happening in like that vein essentially. What the freak? I don't know what it means, but I know it's the next step in my existence, more than a gumiho.
If you swallowed it. I suppose that makes sense, but it hardly sounds pleasant.
It really doesn't. Like it looks like it's like the size of like a pill, but I hate taking pills. It's not, that sounds awful.
It isn't.
Removing my necklace, I inspect the bead yet again. The glow must be related to what Juliet was saying. This is getting closer to being ready. I don't know if the rest of me is, though.
But why now? I don't think that many people have forgotten me recently. But it started changing so fast.
It's magic. Even as a boring old human, I can tell you that magic never works how you think it should.
Or maybe like it doesn't start shining until it's almost ready anyway, so then a little bit more is like all it really needs. That's like, well, as soon as like she started saying, but why now? That's immediately what like came to my brain. Because she's been having people forget about her for so long, so it's just been building up and building up and building up. And now like it's like overflowing essentially, hence why it's like actually starting to shine.
Not just magic, but also myth. Myths tend to have some roots and truth, but are incomplete or warped by retelling.
Bless me, I sneeze. Good thing I muted it though.
Trust your eyes and your heart, not just what Aspen and I find.
Like, what does it even mean to like ascend to a Chinho? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Like, what does that actually mean for Miho? Is she gonna have to like go somewhere else? Because like it's a Sky Fox, so she seems like she's not ready for it. But like, what does it actually like? If it makes her more powerful or able to control her stuff, like that doesn't really change anything. So it's like, I feel like I just don't understand enough about like what this ascension actually does to Miho to actually be like as concerned as she is.
Right. Besides, who knows how much farther it has to go? It could keep getting brighter and brighter for a long time.
Eventually, it'd be too bright for you to want to wear it though.
I've seen... I'll see if it looks any different this time next week.
I was about to mention Silver, but I managed to catch myself. I want to tell Aspen and Juliet about her, but not yet. Not until I know her better myself. Not until I can convince her to meet them. And it could take even longer for Silver to change than for my bead. Although now that I think about it, what does the brightness of hers mean? That her bead has stored even more magic than mine? Something about that doesn't feel right. It can't just be about an amount. There has to be something more. Oh, is it going to be like the quality of it? But like, then what does that mean for Silver? How does she store magic? Because I was thinking like it could be like the quality, like, oh yeah, all these memories of like her friends that she's been making, and like every time like they forget about her, that like there are good memories going in there. So if it's something more about just the amount, it's like the quality of it, obviously. So like, I don't know, maybe. I wonder if she even knows what it is, but I just don't know what. Because Silver's power is obviously something that like hurts people, because she used it to kill all the hunters in the last episode, or at least that's what she said. So it's like, what is her power, and how would that relate? How would that correlate to this? There's one more big question. There's one more big question too. Oh, wait, did I skip a line? I wonder if she even knows what it is. There's one more big question too. One more big what if.
If I do that, would it mean people stop forgetting about me? If my bead isn't there to steal the memories?
That would be very nice if so.
Indeed. I couldn't say, but I share Aspen's feelings, as I'm sure you do too.
Well, I guess whenever it's ready, we could just sort of do a Lena test, like get someone else like to just help try it out.
Yeah, I do.
I lock the necklace back around my neck. The more I learn about my powers, the more conflicted I feel. I know Aspen and Juliet mean well, But it's not just something they can understand. Even though Juliet has magic of her own, it's entirely different from mine. The conversation changes the recent events at the library and the bell house, and none of us mention anything else about magic or Gumiho for the rest of the morning. Whatever's going to happen with my bead, I have to figure it out for myself. Hmm. Hmm. I'm super curious to like go or like learn where this is going. Like, I'm not gonna say it was like bad before and like getting us intrigued in like the magic of like the Gumiho and what everything that was going on. I just wasn't like super interested in that because like I mostly play with like the characters and that kind of stuff. And like I like the light world building in the background, but like the way that they're building this up now, I'm like, oh, they've like really been building this, and I'm super interested to see where it's going. So even though I'm preoccupied with thinking about magic, the morning goes by without any trouble. The library isn't even very busy, so I finish my task quickly and then work on reading and writing. When I hear the door open, I don't look up, just call out a greeting because I'm halfway through a worksheet, but then something floats into the edge of my vision to get my attention. The familiar fable twirls in recognition. Of course Tommy is with him on the other side of the desk, but I don't see Gwen or Elijah.
Hi, me. Hey there. What's up? I'm looking for a super special bug. Do you want to help me find it? Here in the library? I haven't seen any weird bugs. Nah, it's not in here. It's in the woods. It's a special butterfly where if you touch it, you turn into a butterfly too.
That sounds awful. How about we don't do that? I super don't want to be a butterfly. Tommy flaps his arms, imagining what it'd be like to have wings.
I kind of like how I am already. Where's your mom at, though?
He
She's at
frowns.
her house. I told her I was gonna go, but I don't think she heard me.
Oh. Knowing Gwen, once she realizes Tommy's missing, she'll go in a panic looking for him. I doubt I could just make him go home, though. Guess that means I have to keep an eye on him.
Okay, I'll go with you. But I'm not gonna touch it if we find it. Okay, yay! Did you hear that, Gerby? Me's gonna come with us!
Gerby flaps his petals just like Tommy flapped his arms. I put away my things and then follow Tommy out the door. Before I go, I send a quick message to Gwen to tell her that Tommy's with me. That's good. Look at her being responsible. Eventually, we reach Mount Victoria. It takes a lot longer walking with Tommy than it would take on my own.
So, how do we find this thing? We just have to look for it. It's got bright purple wings
Thanks.
for Kirby, so it should be easy to spot.
I let him lead me around the area while he checks all the flowers and plants that he can. We see all sorts of other bugs, but not the one we're looking for. I keep half an eye out for the butterfly, but also watch to make sure Tommy doesn't touch something poisonous or bitey by accident. While we're wandering around, I notice that the area we're in is kind of familiar. That gives me an idea.
Hey, Tommy, wanna see something neat? Is it a bug? Nope.
No.
Okay, I guess.
Don't you know that my only hobby is bugs? If it's not a bug, I don't care. Get out of here. I don't even, if you can shapeshift into a fox, I don't care about that. Oh, is that what she's doing? I thought she was going to show that to him. It's just a short walk to my den. The condition isn't great, and I have to tidy it up a bit, just so it's recognizable.
What is this? It's my den. It's where I lived when I first came here. Whoa.
Both Tommy and Gerby inspect my handiwork.
It used to be a lot nicer. Now it's kind of beat up. I bet I could still fit in there. Yeah, probably.
Tommy pokes around the entrance for a little bit, clearing away some of the leaves and other stuff that's blocking
Do you like
it.
your new home more?
Yeah, a lot more.
The library? Oh, yeah. My old house was better, where I lived with Mom and Dad. Dad still lives there, but now Mom has a different place where she lives. I have to go there sometimes. You don't like it?
Oh, I'm so not ready for this to get super sad.
I want to have two homes. I just want one with all of us. Me, Mom, Dad, and Gerby. Come on, I don't see any butterflies here.
We start walking again, but I don't let us go too far from the main path. Tommy and Gerby are still looking around for the butterfly, but I can tell Tommy's heart isn't in it quite as much. I don't have any experience with any of the issues Tommy's dealing with, or the rest of his family, but I feel like I should at least say
You
something.
know, I'm kind of jealous. Why? Because your parents let you have 2 homes. I spent a long time not even having one home. I don't really count places like my den. That was just a place to stay. Until I moved into the library, I didn't have somewhere better. But you get to have 2. What about your parents? I don't have
What
any.
parents?
Not the same way you do.
I guess she had her fox family. I don't actually know how fox families work, so I'm not going to say anything more about that. My parents were just foxes, and I barely remember them or even think about them that
Even if
much.
they don't live in the same place, they both still love you lots, right? I guess.
She's handling this a lot better than I thought she would. Or I guess more than she gave herself credit for is what I meant to say. I'm not sure if anything I'm saying is helpful. I don't even know how to help Tommy, but I am being honest at least. What he has for a family still seems pretty good, even if it's not perfect. That's a good mentality. In the end, we don't end up finding the magical butterfly. While we're still out looking around, my phone rings. Of course it's Gwen. I tell her where we are and she promises to be here soon. When she finally meets up with us, she doesn't even scold Tommy for running off. She just gives him a hug and thanks me. As they go back off to their house, I reflect on what I said. Being a human is tougher than I used to think it was. What Tommy and his family are going through isn't something I can relate to. But I get the feeling that Tommy is trying in his own way, just like Gwen and Elijah are. Whatever it takes, I hope they're able to figure things out together. I hope it doesn't go like super sad. Like even if like they get divorced, like that's super fine. I just not ready for it to be sad about it though. I'm not surprised when Aspen doesn't show up for breakfast before I fell asleep. Yeah, I'm not surprised when Aspen doesn't show up for breakfast. Before I fell asleep, she mentioned that she was feeling nervous about her meeting and expected to be up for a while, and that she'd probably sleep in. I offered to stay up with her, but she declined, saying she'd rather use the time to prepare. Her spot at the table is conspicuously empty as Juliet and I eat together, but I'm sure she'll show up eventually. I keep an eye on my phone for any messages from her, even as Juliet and I clean up and start our days, but I don't hear anything from Aspen. The library gradually gets livelier, and I have my hands full restocking shelves and filling out papers. Finally, some familiar faces arrive, although Aspen isn't one of them. It's gonna be the kids.
Be careful. If you drop it, we'll have to start all over.
I'm not going to drop it. You carry it if you're so worried.
I can carry it if you'd like, Pippa.
It's fine.
I can hear the 3 kids before I can see them. Their voices only get louder when Armand pushes the front door open and holds it for the other 2. Cello enters first, followed by Pippa, who has her arms wrapped tightly around a box. They've come in every day since we visited the Bell House, so Pippa and Armand still remember me. I didn't explain my magic to them. They just chose to work up. Oh, okay. They chose to work up here because they're working on their school project. I was like, what the freak does that mean? They chose to work up here. They chose to work up here. Silo can't help but yawn as she greets me.
Wow, you guys look exhausted.
Ugh. We are.
Cello and I stayed up all night finishing our project. Armand was only awake for like half of it.
You wouldn't let me touch the models, so why should I have to stay up?
Fair.
You two, please.
Even Cello seems too tired to put up with their friends bickering today. They both huff but stop arguing.
It was a long night, but we managed to get done. Since we're going back home tomorrow, we wanted to come show you and Ms. Aspen the final version.
She gave us a lot of advice at the Bell House.
And a lot of free refills.
Oh my gosh, Aspen, you can't run a business like this, please.
Yeah, Ms. Aspen was super nice to us. Is she around?
Nope. I haven't seen her yet today. I think she had a late night too. I'll try calling her. I'm going to go put this down somewhere.
Good idea.
All 3 of them go to find a table where they can set up, and I pull out my phone to give Aspen a call. It rings for a long time, and I'm about to hang up when I finally hear the line click.
Hello?
Oh, Her voice is so groggy that she was clearly still asleep.
Hi, Aspen. Sorry to wake you up.
Miho? It's fine. Why are you calling so early, though? Is something wrong?
Early. It's 1 p.m.
Early? It's almost lunchtime.
Huh?
There's a rustling sound and I can hear her groan.
Oh, I was up so late last night.
I remember. Did you get a lot done?
I got a lot of worrying done, at least. That's about it. But I'll be ready for this evening. I didn't mean to sleep through breakfast.
It's alright. Cello and the others are here, though. They finished their project and wanted to show you. But if you're too tired, I can just send you a picture or something.
No, it's all right. I'll come over. I just need a bit to get ready.
Okay. See you soon, then.
See you.
I hang up and then go let the students know what's going on. They wander around the library to entertain themselves while we wait. Finally, the library door opens and Aspen enters, still looking half asleep. She manages to stumble in my direction and I greet her with a big hug.
Good morning. Actually, good afternoon.
Don't remind me. I'm glad to see you, though.
Same.
Miss Aspen, over here.
From their chosen spot, the three kids wave at Aspen.
Miss Aspen makes me sound so old.
She grumbles quietly enough that only I can hear her, but she puts on a smile as we go over to the table.
Thank you for coming to see us. Were you up late working too?
Something like that, yes. But not as hard as you were, it seems. Congratulations on finishing your project.
Despite her exhaustion, Aspen manages to use her customer service voice and seems genuinely excited for them.
Thanks. Me and Cello worked really hard on it. I guess Armand helped too.
It was something the three of us all made together. But we wouldn't have been able to do that without visiting the Bell House.
I'm very excited to see. Is it in the box?
Pippa nods. Armand reaches for it, but Pippa pulls the box out of his way.
Here we go.
She carefully why did I say nods? She carefully unfolds the flaps and reaches in, lifting out their project. Both Aspen and I gasp as we see it. It's a tiny version of the Bell House, about the size of a shoebox. The walls look like they're made out of cardboard or something, or some other material, and the table and chairs inside are made of clay. Even the stretch of road outside the cafe is included, with the benches and flags and everything. The smell of fresh paint emanates from the display, along with glue and other craft supplies.
It's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, this is amazing. Thanks.
Although Pippa sounds gruff as always, I can see her blush before she tries to hide her face. Aspen kneels down to get a better look, inspecting all the little details.
You even got the bell above the door. How cute.
Oh, that's awesome.
It wouldn't be the Bell House without a bell.
I was really hoping we'd get a CG of the display, I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited for it.
The plants, too. Great job, everybody.
Cello and Armand beam at the praise, and even Pippa manages a small smile.
Thanks for letting us spend time there.
And for all the coffee.
You're giving coffee to these kids? Isn't that like bad for them? Aspen.
Of course. I remember the stress of homework and group projects very well. At least your group actually works together, instead of leaving it all for one person.
Yeah, I like how literally every group project goes.
That's right.
Cello hastily answers, shooting Pippa a look before she can try to challenge it.
Thank you as well, Ms. Miho. We would have never found out about the Bell House if you didn't take us there.
Hello, game? I clicked it. Game. Okay, there we go.
No prob. I'll take any excuse I can to go there.
It's true. I speak from experience.
Hey, you're one of those excuses too.
Aww.
Oh, I'm the excuse, am I? So it's the free drinks you're really visiting for?
Only sometimes. Sometimes you still make me pay.
Sounds like it should be always from here on out.
We both stare at each other for a second before slipping into laughter. It manages to push some of the tiredness out of Aspen's eyes. We chat with the kids for a while longer, swapping stories about Wellington and Amarina, until finally it's getting time for them to pack up and get going. Aspen helps Pippa carefully return their project to its box and close it up. Then all 5 of us head outside.
Thanks again for all your help.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you. I hope you can come back to Wellington again sometime.
Me too.
It's bittersweet to think that after this time tomorrow, those two will have forgotten about me. I'm glad they'll remember Aspen, though, and the Bell House, of course.
Yes. I wish we could stay longer, but I also miss home. It's kind of funny. I wasn't sure if I'd miss San Marino or not before we left, but now I definitely do.
Funny how fast that happens, right?
Yes.
Take care, all of you. You're always welcome at the Bell House again.
We'll definitely come back if we can.
Her 2 friends nod. Armand stoops down to pick up the box. I notice Pippa tense up, but she doesn't stop him.
Be careful.
I will.
Okay, time to go. Goodbye, and thank you again.
Goodbye.
Bye!
With a final wave, we see them off until they've gone down the path and disappear from sight. Once they're gone, Aspen slouches, sighing and yawning.
That was nice. I hope they get a good grade on their project.
They better. It looks really good. Are you gonna be alright, though? You seem like you're about to fall over.
I'm fine. It was nice to have the distraction for a bit. Now all I have left to do is wait for this evening.
Wanna go in? Or are you gonna wait at home?
I'd rather wait with you, if that's okay.
Of course! I was hoping you'd say that.
Aspen holds out her hand and I take it. Together we step back into the library and wait for the appointed hour to arrive. That's weird. I didn't expect I could miss those kid characters, but like they're actually really well written. Like for only being in the story for like 20 or 30 minutes, I'm like, they have like such a good dynamic with each other, like a very like set, like I don't know how to explain it. It feels like you got like into their personalities and character with them only being around for like a very short amount of time. Like they're not like the deepest characters ever, but for how long they were actually in the story, like the story did a lot to actually like get me to like the kids and like understand their dynamics and personalities, and like they were fun to like have around, if that makes sense. Again, not like the best characters ever, but I'm surprised at how much I liked them. Oh, I read that first line, and I'm like, wait, she's reading a book? But then, pretending to read. Anyways, I think that there's a good spot to end it for today. In the next one, we're going to do more about the, we're going to do the meeting, which I'm so nervous for. Because I just really want Aspen to get this, okay? I just really want her to win. Okay, so yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.